Sometimes it feels like the noise around us only gets louder, making it hard to notice the quieter moments. This is 10 Better Minutes, a podcast that offers a calm space to hear real stories from the world that often go unseen. Here, you will find a handful of recent events that remind us not everything is captured in the headlines, without brushing aside the challenges we face. I am your host, Ian Rhodes, and I appreciate you joining me for a few minutes today. We will hear about a small group of people coming together to support others in hard times, and about dedicated volunteers helping a rare bird colony on the coast. But first, we'll start with a story about a project that brings the voices of people who have experienced homelessness into the light through art and community. In East London, Reading and Bristol, St. Mungo has put something striking on the streets. 3 graffiti-style murals featuring people who once lived rough. Each mural includes QR codes that invite passers-by to pause, scan, and hear narrated stories from former rough sleepers. The installations will be on Bethnal Green Road in London until 30th in July, Stokes Croft in Bristol until 27th July, and King Street in Reading until 29th July. One of the murals spotlights Lee, who is 54. He is a former rough sleeper with time living in North America, including 1 year sleeping rough in Canada. Lee remembers how his turning point began on his first night in the care of St. Mungo. An outreach worker found him, took him to A and E, and then he received a call from the team. Over time, that support became something he can pass on. Now Lee volunteers and helps run creative writing classes, using words as a way back to self. In his mural, you can see that intention clearly with messages like, "See me," and art that feels alive with possibility, not just survival. St. Mungo's work also comes with numbers that underline the reality of recovery efforts. The charity reports that 4,693 is the highest on record for rough sleeping, and that 77% of the people it helped off the streets last year did not return. These murals do not ask for pity. They ask for attention. They center voices in public, and they gently remind you that hope can be practical, personal, and real. When you think about conservation, it can sound like big policies and faraway places, but sometimes it looks like small bridges set down with careful hands, right where a journey is about to happen. In this story, volunteers and park workers in Taiwan built tiny bamboo bridges so mangrove land crabs could cross where paths had been interrupted. During the July to September migration, they did not just watch quietly. They also occasionally closed a B road at crossing points, then reopened it after the slow lines of crabs passed safely toward the nesting beaches. The timing mattered because these crabs make their trip in a short window, and once the beach is reached, the cycle can continue. Last year, locals observed about 10,000 crabs making that migration from the interior to the shore. That count was double what they had seen the previous year, a sign that the routes were more usable than before. Park Director Chen Jun-shan said protecting land crabs also helps protect the coastal forest belt. And I like that idea. It makes the work feel close to the ground. A few simple structures, a road paused at the right moment, and a hidden coastline ecosystem gets a clearer way forward. Some discoveries feel like small lanterns in the dark, and this one came from a cliff in Dorset, where conservationists had been patiently watching and hoping. The good action started when the National Trust, alongside volunteers, installed motion sensor trail cameras on Dancing Ledge in March, then kept a close vigil for about 15 weeks, putting in around 150 hours of monitoring. They were not just looking for activity, they were trying to understand why chicks had stopped appearing, even as the mainland southern coast puffin population had dwindled to just 6 birds. In the midst of that careful work, something finally changed. For the first time in 30 years, a puffeling was spotted emerging from its cliffside nest, and adult puffins were seen delivering fish to the nest, with the first fish taken into the ledge recorded on May 31, and the last fish delivery noted on July 5. It was a concrete sign that at least one nest had moved from hope toward survival. The reflection is simple, yet powerful. A single puffling does not erase years of decline, especially when only 3 breeding pairs remain today compared to more than 40 active pairs in the 1950s. Still, the sighting matters because it answers a question the cameras were meant to help with. When a living clue appears, it reminds us that attention, time, and gentle teamwork can reopen possibilities, one tiny life at a time. You know that feeling when something ordinary turns into something that actually helps? Here is a small, everyday choice that has quietly added real support for sea turtles in Florida. Back in 1998, Florida introduced a specialty sea turtle license plate. It features a sea turtle on a sandy beach, and it was not just dreamed up overnight. The Sea Turtle Conservancy campaigned starting in 1995 to get the design in place, and then the plate finally debuted 5 years later. Since then, it has shown up on Florida roads in a noticeable way, with more than 100,000 plates spotted each year. What makes it especially uplifting is that it is tied directly to conservation funding. An estimated $8 to $10 million has been generated since the plate launched, supporting Florida sea turtle programs. About 70% of the proceeds serves as the primary source of funding for the FFWC Sea Turtle Program, which helps keep the work going day after day, not just as a one-time push. Residents can also add to that momentum each year for around $25. And even if you never think about license plates as activism, this one shows how steady, practical support can pile up over time. It is a reminder that community care does not always arrive in big speeches. Sometimes it rolls in with your registration renewal, and it keeps giving. On June 25, 2026, a Supreme Court decision put temporary protected status uncertainty back into the center of everyday life for Haitian and Syrian families in Ohio. And in Springfield, neighbors chose to respond with steady, practical care. It started with people gathering together before the decision fully settled in, and it kept going right after. In the days leading up to it, Ohio Catholic bishops issued a supportive statement naming their deep concern for Haitian neighbors. Then, Springfield residents organized prayer vigils and community rallies, along with food drives, donations, and fundraising, so families would not have to face waiting rooms, paperwork, and worry by themselves. Volunteers collected food and toiletries, raised money to help cover urgent needs, and even did shopping for Haitian families who needed an extra hand. At one rally in front of Springfield City Hall, Viles Dorsanville from the Haitian Community Help and Support Center spoke about resilience and refusing hate, reminding everyone that strength can look like showing up. He and the volunteers offered not slogans, but listening, conversation, and door-to-door support. By the time the work permit timeline felt closer, the message was already clear. These families were still preparing, still planning, still carrying uncertainty in their pockets. But they were also carrying something else too. They had neighbors who brought groceries, companionship, and calm reassurance, one act of kindness at a time. As always, I have a wonderful tip for you to help with your mental reset and finding more ease in your day. Today's tip is about learning the skill of downshifting instead of staying revved up long after you need to be. Most of us do not realize how often we carry activation forward. We stay tense while we wait. We keep bracing during conversations. We hold the same energy when the situation has already changed. Downshifting is the choice to notice that shift and respond on purpose. Try this simple practice. Right now, pause and ask yourself, what am I adding that I do not need to add? Then soften one area first. Let your jaw drop a little. Lower your shoulders. Exhale a touch longer than you inhale. Give your body permission to return to neutral. Now take it one step further mentally. Instead of thinking, I have to stay ready, try, I can be present and still not be on alert. You are not giving up your drive. You are directing it. You are teaching your nervous system that rest is safe, and calm can be productive too. Practice downshifting in small moments, and soon your whole day will feel more spacious. Well, friends, that is the end of today's 10 Better Minutes episode. If you have been feeling worn down by headlines and noise, I hope this left you with something steadier in your chest. The quiet proof that people still choose decency, care, and plain old follow-through, even when nobody is watching. Those small moments add up, and they matter. If you would like more of this each day, you can follow or subscribe to 10 Better Minutes, so the next episode shows up when you want a little cleaner air. This is Ian Rhodes with 10 Better Minutes. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.